How's your birthday going?
Fantastic, I'm having a great time.
We'll cut the cake very shortly, all right? Okay. If I could just ask the guys, publicists, I know that Dougie's got something to say on it, but do you believe they earn their money and they do the right thing by the artist that actually writes the song?
You have to be a bit careful with definition. Publicists is a recent American term now. Right. That actually means publicity. Publishers.
Oh, publishers.
Yeah, like some publishers. Well, I mean, it depends on whether you want to pay 50% to someone for the privilege of collecting your money, you know, or not. It depends on whether you sort of like to do that or not. Otherwise, I'd say, well, frankly, as an artist, being brutally honest about it, I can't honestly see what they do. They are a collection agency. In some cases they push songs, in other cases they don't. In cases like myself and Doug, obviously there's not a lot they can do for us. I mean, anything we write's going to get recorded. Right. You know.
A publisher, you write a song, you give it to the publisher. Yeah. He then goes about trying to get you somebody to sing that song or record that song? Is that
theoretically, that's what they're supposed to do. I think a lot of publishers, I can't really cite any one publisher, but through my own experiences I found, I mean, there are obviously good publishers in the world, but I think in Australia, for instance, where there's a lack of people cutting other people's songs, whereas a lot of groups write their own material. I think in Australia, I think it's a bit unjustified in some ways that publishers take 50% of a writer's money, and I think also the fact that they take 50% of the performances.
Right, so
from APRA,
right.
They take 50% of that. So you know they're getting the biggest slice of the so-called cake, and the writer is getting a lot less than I think the writer should be getting, because theoretically, as John was saying, they're really collection agencies. I think I would advise all writers now, up-and-coming writers, to do a collection deal with a company, which would be like a 15 or 20% administration
just
deal,
collect
just
the money
to collect the bread, write the checks, and clear up the paperwork. Because you know, I think most of my experience I found is to the fact that everything I've got cut lately has been done through word of mouth or through myself or through hearing a record at a friend's place, and it's not really been through the
like Rod McEwen.
Publishing, yeah.
Now, in all good faith, if we have publishers out there that go crazy after the show, because I have friends that work in that business,
right?
I mean, we must let someone pop back in one night. Maybe we have a little discussion around.
Yeah, that'd be really good. I'd like
around. But they do. We look at that in future.
They do have a use. I mean, we
yes,
they really do. Oh, I'm not going to say.
Get into it, John.
No.
Well, let's not go any further. And you know, on that other subject that I mentioned earlier, we might talk about with the lady here, of course, I think it would be much wiser to bypass it entirely and just cut the cake there, darling, as the Doobie Brothers said at one stage of their career. Congratulations on the new album, mate, and that single. Lovely for getting us the clip too. Thank you.
Oh,
I think that's the first time I've seen it. Yeah. And it went round on After Dark. You've been watching After Dark. We thank Doug Ashdown. Please come back and see us again.
I will. Maybe
it's a good time tonight.
Silly.
You'll be right. It's a good time tonight, and I'll give you a refill. Although half a gallon, I don't think we've got left another half a gallon out there. Jono, thanks, mate. Thank you for coming in.
Cheers.
Good luck with this week's work in Sydney. Good luck at Selena's tonight. Later. Deborah, all the best over there in America.
Thank you very much.
And a very happy birthday to you, love. I hope you appreciate that a little bit.
Thank you for coming on. I loved it. Fantastic.
See you soon. Bye-bye. We'll go out with a pretty wild mob, and we'll see you next week.